If your dog sleeps on your bed, you've probably stopped thinking much about where exactly they end up. They find their spot, you shift to accommodate, and by morning, you've both settled into whatever arrangement the night produced. It seems random, a matter of comfort and convenience. But it isn't random, and the more you pay attention to it, the more clearly you can see that where your dog chooses to position themselves in relation to your body every single night is a form of communication. Not a deliberate, calculated message, but a behavioral expression of what they feel about you, about their role in the household, about how safe they feel, and about what kind of contact they're seeking. Dogs are pack animals who evolved sleeping in groups. For them, sleep is not an isolated act, it's a social one. Where they sleep relative to others in the group carries meaning in their wiring, meaning about safety, status, closeness, and trust. When your dog shares your bed, all of that wiring is still running. And the spot they choose every night is the expression of it. Here is what each position reveals, and what it says about how your dog sees the relationship. At your feet, protection, presence, and quiet loyalty. This is one of the most common sleeping positions, and also one of the most misread. People sometimes interpret a dog sleeping at the foot of the bed as a sign of lower status, a dog who has been told not to sleep at the head, or who is less attached, or who keeps their distance. The reality is often quite different. Sleeping at your feet is a position that has deep roots in dog social behavior. In a group resting setting, positioning yourself near the periphery of the sleeping group, near the outer edge, facing outward, is the role of the alert member, the one who keeps an eye on what might approach. It's not the least important position, it's the watchman's position. A dog at your feet is not on the fringe of your relationship. They may be taking the position that, in their internal logic, means, I will watch over us while we sleep. There's also a sensory logic to it. The foot of the bed tends to be cooler, further from your body heat, closer to room temperature. Dogs who naturally run warm, who have dense coats, or who are middle-aged and managing their temperature more carefully, often migrate to the cooler end naturally. This doesn't mean they want to be far from you. It means they've found the version of closeness that also keeps them physically comfortable. And there's a spatial logic. The foot of the bed often gives a dog a clearer sightline to the bedroom door than the top of the bed does. For a dog whose ancestral programming still includes some level of environmental vigilance, this matters. They can rest with you while still monitoring the entry point, close, connected, and positioned to notice if anything changes. A dog who consistently sleeps at your feet is almost certainly a dog who is deeply attached to you and who expresses that attachment through proximity and quiet vigilance rather than maximum physical contact. 2. Pressed against your legs or side, the highest level of trust. When your dog sleeps in contact with your body, pressed against your calf, tucked against your back, lying along your thigh, they are seeking the most complete available form of presence. This position requires them to be close enough to feel your body heat and your breathing. Your movement during the night affects them directly. If you shift, they shift. They cannot rest fully independently because their rest is physically intertwined with yours. This is not something any dog does casually or with just anyone. For a dog, resting with complete physical contact against another being is a statement about the relationship. It says, in behavioral terms, this being is safe. I can relax my vigilance completely in this person's immediate physical space. I want to maintain contact even during sleep, which is when I am most vulnerable. The contact also has a physiological dimension. Physical proximity to a bonded individual reduces cortisol in many mammals, including dogs. It's not just behavioral comfort, it's a hormonal response. Sleeping against you isn't just where they want to be, it's where their nervous system is genuinely most at ease. If your dog spends the night pressed against you, you are your dog's safe place. Not just the person who feeds them or takes them for walks, but the specific biological anchor that their nervous system identifies as the source of safety and regulation. That is a profound form of trust expressed in the simplest possible way. Their body leaned against yours while they sleep. 3. Back to you. Trust, not rejection. This is the one that most often causes owners unnecessary concern. Your dog is sleeping with their back to you, facing away. Maybe turned toward the edge of the bed, maybe facing the door. And you wonder, are they upset? Have I done something wrong? Are they rejecting closeness? In human social terms, turning away can carry those meanings. We read turned backs as coldness, withdrawal, discomfort. But dog social behavior operates on different principles. For a dog, choosing to sleep with their back to someone they're resting with is a signal of high trust, not distance. In the wild, exposing your back to another animal means you are not watching them. You are not monitoring them for signs of aggression. You are not in a state of readiness to respond to what they might do. You are fully relaxed in their presence. The back is turned because you have concluded that there is no threat to monitor. When your dog sleeps with their back against you, they may also be doing something practical. They're guarding the space facing away from you, watching the side of the room or the door that you can't see, while trusting you to hold the other direction. Two members of the group, each watching a different sector, together covering more of the environment. Even in the safety of a domestic bedroom, this cooperative positioning may still run as a low-level behavioral default. Don't take the turned back personally. It is your dog telling you, I am so comfortable with you, so completely unafraid of you, that I can face away and rest without any part of my nervous system staying alert to what you might do. That is the opposite of rejection. It is the quietest possible statement of trust. Subscribe if you're starting to see your dog's sleeping habits in an entirely new way, because the positions we haven't covered yet are the ones most owners find most surprising. On the pillow, your scent, your warmth, and maximum closeness. The dog who sleeps on your pillow, specifically your pillow, not just any available surface near your head, is following something very specific. Your pillow carries the highest concentration of your scent in the entire bed. Your hair, skin oils, breath, and natural chemical signature have accumulated in that fabric, in a way that is, for a dog with a sensitive nose, essentially a concentrated version of you. Sleeping on the pillow is, in olfactory terms, sleeping as close to you as it is physically possible to get. For dogs who are deeply bonded and particularly scent-oriented, this is a genuine draw. It's not about asserting territory over you. It's about maximizing their sensory connection to you. If the question underlying every sleeping position is, how close can I get to this person? Then the pillow is the answer with nowhere further to go. There's also a warmth component. The head of the bed tends to stay warmer throughout the night, both from your body heat and from the insulating effect of bedding being gathered at that end. For small dogs in particular, warmth retention during sleep matters. And your pillow, at the warmest and most scent-rich spot, is the optimal sleeping location from their perspective. If the behavior bothers you, many people reasonably prefer not to share their pillow, it can be managed with consistent, gentle redirection to an alternative spot without any need to make it a conflict. But understanding that it's coming from maximum attachment, not from disrespect or dominance, changes how you feel about redirecting it. 5. In the middle between two people, seeking everyone, losing no one. For dogs who live with couples or families, the middle position is a common and very revealing choice. When a dog positions themselves between two people in the bed, they are solving a specific problem that their attachment system creates. They are bonded to more than one person, and the idea of choosing proximity to one necessarily means less proximity to the other. The solution, sleep in the middle, maintain contact with both, is logically elegant in dog terms. This is not a power play. It is not a dog trying to dominate the couple's sleeping arrangement. It is a dog trying to remain in maximum attachment to the maximum number of their bonded people simultaneously. The same impulse that makes a dog try to be in every room where a family member is present, or pace between two different people during an emotional moment, that impulse is expressed in sleep as the middle position. It is also socially regulated behavior. In natural resting groups of dogs, where individuals sleep in close proximity, positioning in the center of a group is associated with higher social investment, not with aggression or assertiveness. The dog in the middle is surrounded by the group, connected on all sides, fully embedded. If you and a partner both share the bed with your dog and the dog reliably gravitates to the center, what you're looking at is a dog who loves both of you with the specific kind of loyalty that can't pick a favorite, and so doesn't try. 6. Changing positions throughout the night. What the movement means. Some dogs are restless sleepers. They start at the foot, move to the side by midnight, occupy the middle by 3 a.m., and are somehow back at the foot again by morning. Owners sometimes interpret this as a dog who is anxious, uncomfortable, or behaviorally difficult. But most nighttime position changes have simpler explanations. Temperature is the most common one. Dogs cycle through phases of feeling too warm and wanting distance from your body heat, and feeling cooler and wanting to return to it. Their optimal sleep temperature may require adjustment throughout the night, and moving is how they achieve it. Watching where they go after a shift, toward or away from your body, toward or away from a cooler or warmer surface, usually tells you which direction their temperature is moving. Your own movement is another factor. When you shift in your sleep, the dog may relocate simply because their current position has been disrupted. They find a new spot, settle, and eventually drift back toward you when the disruption has resolved. For older dogs, joint comfort becomes a factor that wasn't present when they were younger. An aging dog who changes positions frequently during the night may be managing discomfort, a hip, a shoulder, a back, by shifting to relieve pressure. This is worth paying attention to if the movement seems distressed rather than routine. A dog who circles repeatedly before each repositioning, or who seems to have difficulty settling into any position, may need a veterinary conversation about pain management. Normal nighttime shifting is adjustment and optimization. What isn't normal is true inability to settle, pacing, whining, getting on and off the bed repeatedly, seeming distressed throughout the night. That is a different signal, one that points toward pain, anxiety, or a physical need, like wanting to go out. The constant underneath all of it. Every position your dog chooses in relation to you during sleep, at your feet, against your side, with their back turned, on your pillow, in the center of the bed, or somewhere in between, shares one common element. It is a position relative to you. They are not just finding the most comfortable spot in the bed. They are finding the most comfortable spot in relation to you specifically. And that relational dimension, the fact that your presence is the constant around which all their choices are organized, is the entire message. Your dog doesn't sleep with you because it's practical, or because the bed is the best surface, or because it's convenient. They sleep with you because you are where they want to be. And every night, in the position they choose, they say it again. Subscribe if you want to keep understanding what your dog is communicating, in sleep and in every other moment. They're always saying something. Most of us just haven't learned to listen to all of it yet.